Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Thanks for tuning in. I want to make this channel mainly about my journey in 3D animation, coding, and how you yourself can apply these things, because I know that 3D animation editing is not an easy skill. Neither is learning how to code from scratch in JavaScript and learning how to do servers. So one of the things that I always loved, because I was always creating stuff for YouTube, was Cinema 4D, which is this application right here, which I'll get back to, because when I click that, it doesn't let me record with my camera for some reason. One of the things is I created animations that people loved, and people wanted to pay me to even edit their videos, because before, I would be editing mainly with After Effects as my video editor. That is not a good thing to do, because you're going to take so long to edit just a 3-minute video with a motion graphics software instead of using Adobe Premiere. So I never knew that. I was always thinking After Effects, the Adobe After Effects, the one that you get from the cloud, is basically a motion graphics where you can create Lottie animations, videos, and all that stuff, right? I didn't know that, but I loved it. I also loved Cinema 4D because of the 3D animations I can create. And now that I'm working in my own agency and creating websites in their own servers or in other people's servers, it is such a joy. And I said, what can I do so that I could combine that? So one of the things, of course, that I found was this one right here, was Spline. So this right here, this software is what I would use to create 3D animations, because it has its own server. So the animation is hosted within Spline. So you can click on this, for example. I'm a little glitchy there. And so this is one animation that I created, for example, and I click on play, and it hovers and it moves. So I was always fascinated by this, right? And and then you can just share it with your friends here, and you can use it even for sales, which is really good if people know how to use this for sales and they create like a scene, which is pretty awesome. I did see that there were some limitations to it, which I wasn't too I wasn't very fond of. And I wanted to be in the back end, listening and looking at all of the code that I could manipulate, right? And so here's basically the embed code that you get to paste it on your website, or you can just use this one and then just copy the embed link here. So this is what I would use right in the beginning for our websites. And I still use the spline for like simple animations that you need to add to your website, which is pretty good. And then I had to learn this one right here. So at first I was learning Node because I wanted to do API and learn how to connect things without having to pay for Make, Zapier, and then I can do it myself and have more control over that, which is a lot better. But then I ended up going into full stack and not just back end or front end, because I was doing front end. I was taking a course with his name was Jonas from Udemy. And then there was also, but the thing is, it's you have to choose who cater to what you're doing. So depending on what you're doing, there's always a programmer that's been there and that you can use and leverage to your benefit. And so then from there I went to because he was teaching React, which is just a framework. Um, with the server side. And then there's Code Steel from Udemy as well. So he was also pretty good. He was teaching me how to do a lot of concepts that I didn't know of in the beginning, like arrays, especially functions, all of these things that involve JavaScript, right? Code like this. So one of the things is you have to get this and download it. So if you are barely gonna get in the door of any skill, or if you want to learn this, learn it. The one I would recommend is this one. So Node, you just go here, and so you usually never get the one that's always current, but it's fine if you do. But you get the LTS. So you get the LTS, and this one is the one that you want to download. Many times you can just go and get it directly from here. But of course, you get it from here. This is also the code, and it shows you how to download it. You can even go to GitHub, which is where the code is also um, hosted within GitHub as well. So you can have like portfolios. And so one thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to show you, right? So first, of course, you download this, and it's going to show you the pack. And this pack, oh, this is Blender. So this pack right here is Node. So you just open that and you just download it. But I mean, I already have it, so I'm just going to delete it. I'm going to delete that. And now we're here in, so these are actually my folders right here that I'm showing you, where I'm doing exercises on creating the 3D, combining what I like, the 3D animation with the website. So I'm going to take that, and I'm just going to hide this. And I'm going to open VS Code, and I'm going to close VS Code, and then I'm going to reopen it. So I'm going to reopen this, and then I'm going to have this here. So since I'm going to open the geometries, what I'm going to do is I'm going to separate the final project from the other project. So I'm going to get these, and then I'm going to put them in a new folder, and I'm going to call this, I don't know, exercise. There you go. So exercise is filled with the source, which is the index, the script, and the CSS code, and the JSON, and the static, which there's nothing in there. Okay, so you usually just go and download VS Code. This is one of the easier platforms to download online. You can just find this one on Chrome. You can find it on Safari, and you can download this. So it has already been downloaded. And by clicking on the HTML, I can already see that I already have this, the project that I'm working on, and also the CSS where we just fixed some of the overflow, positioning, and so on and so forth. So what I'm going to do now is you're going to open the terminal with Control, or rather Command J. So I open the terminal, and this is going to go into my exercise folder. So my exercise folder contains this. So now I'm going to click on and type in npm install. So you're going to install the node package that you already had, and you're going to install it into this project, right? And then it's now working in the background, downloading all of the code. And there it goes. It downloaded all those packages. It downloaded 18 packages and 19 audited, whatever, and these 5 packages that requires funding. So by looking at that, now we can look at the packages that it downloaded. So here we have this package lock.json, which is another one that it downloaded. And then of course, all these modules here on the side. So it downloaded all of these modules. Of course, don't delete it or remove any of those. And from here, I go back to my terminal. So then I'm going to put npm run dev, enter. And now it's going to open the local server like this. So this is one of the projects that I am so happy to work at, because I always wanted to create 3D animations within websites. And so before I go here, let me show you one of the websites that I built for one of our clients, and it's called Shop Dr. Loans. It's a very successful website, and this is his website right here. So we see here, in order to gain a lot of leads, you need to pinpoint your target audience. In this case, it's medical professionals, right? And that lands in the 1% of people or less. And we have different pages, and the click button for going to the forms, like that. A lot of code was also used within it as well, so it was pretty fun to build this website. I love looking back and looking at my projects and just looking at it and just be like, awesome, right? And of course the chatbot. And when you go down, he's just going to add a disclosure form here, the embed that we add for the iframe, which is basically just from the CRM. We can embed it in here, make it quick for people to sign in. And then below here, we have a 3D animation. You might say, that's a picture, Ray. What are you talking about? But this is actually a 3D animation from Spline where you can actually code it into the website, and I'll show you that right now. When you hover over the states, they hover. So this, you can create this animation within Blender. And in Blender, you have to trace each one state. Of course, you have to buy the image just so you can own the rights to it because you bought it, and then you trace it because then people are going to be complaining about, oh, that's mine. So buy it first and then trace it second. Don't take someone else's stuff, especially when it's commercial, right? So from here, you can click on whatever state you want. This is only, for example, on desktop because this is only interactive within mouse, right? So you would click on Texas. Boom. Now we're in the Texas page. See, we have to connect the URL link of this one right here for Texas. And we link it to the animation that already has the link within the animation through the HTML. So they link all of that together. To me, this was mind blowing. I loved looking at animations, and this is basically involves like internal JavaScript that's already embedded within Webflow. Easy to do. Now that I know even more, it's even better. This, of course, you can create it on Spline as well. You can use it for images, and he gets a ton of clients with his website now. Like he's getting a lot of sales, and he made his money back to an extent. So here, this is what I wanted to show you. But then let's go back to the cube, because the cube is basically hosted within my local server in my website, within my laptop, which basically means that I am hosting it within Vite, which is the one that is within Node as well. And here is my local server. And this is the cube. You might say, oh, it's just a square, Reymundo. What is that ugly cube? I know, it does look ugly in the beginning, but I was excited. I showed this to my sister and she says it's ugly. But when you, because I've already messed with it where you can actually click it and you can drag and you can do many things with the cube. If this cube had different faces, maybe, who knows, maybe it has text on the side over here, text on the side over there, text on the side over there. Maybe you made it way bigger and then you put images or videos within these faces. My mind just went into the atmosphere and I already wanted to apply this, but of course it's a slow learning process because I want to learn everything, get it all down. You can create this from scratch, but it does require a lot more code and you have to just continue to type. But since I already use three.js, which is a library for editing 3D animations, it makes it so much easier to implement things a lot faster. Of course, three.js is built on WebGL, so WebGL also you can use with three.js, but you have to get the imports and import the framework from there because they all have different servers. And for example, this animation is one I like, but it still looks kind of choppy. So this one right here is the one I like because I like Canon and I like their brand, right? I like their cameras. They're pretty good. I bought a lens that huge too. And when you hover, this is what I want, because 3D animation within websites, to be able to make it immersive, to me was just mind blowing. Again, I say that because it was. And look at this. Of course, this can be changed, but I'm not going to do that right now because I'm just showing you. I was already going to change the font size, make it some rem or something. And you see how it's showing you the camera disassembling, coming together, and that does not look too good. Yeah, they need to work on that. But I guess it's a project that they were working on. They do need to work on the grouping of this. And there we go. Creating this is, I thought it was super difficult when I first saw it, which to some it might. But to me, now if you get all the components ready, you can do this very easily with cameras and perspective cameras, or even just the orthographic camera. But in this case, it's perspective because it's using one word zooming in. And yeah, this is what you can do with 3D animations. And this is how you can make your website that just more immersive, which is why in our website as well, I've edited so many times, and then I just have to continue to build it upon it to make it that much better. But this is what I have been building so that I can increase the skills that I have been learning VS Code here. So right now the server is running through Vite right here, and then I can eliminate that, and then I can go back. All right, let me go back to the JavaScript, and let me go back to the cube. So this cube, you can change the geometry of this. So right here we have 111 makes it a cube, right? So you can make it into a 2. And there it goes. Now it's a square. You can make circles, you can make squares, you can make rectangles, cubes, whatever you want. And it just depends on your preference. So whatever you want to do, you can create it with 3D animations. And I love creating things. And there it goes. There, the cube is back. It just refreshes the frames. So what I'm gonna be doing in the channel now is doing like walkthroughs, um, and it's gonna be mainly for myself, as I said, so that I can keep learning everything in concept and teaching it while I'm learning it, while I'm doing it. Because in the end, you have to just just do it, because many people lack that motivation because they think they can't do it. And if you think you can't do it, you can't do it. Just think, you know what? Let me try it out. Let me do it. That's it. That's all you need. Once you immerse yourself, you will thank yourself later because the world right now is coming to a point where everything is being oversaturated with nonsense, with stupidity and foolishness. Everyone's becoming so degenerate, and sadly, that's just what I'm seeing. They're becoming so full of themselves, and I said, you know what? Let me just create something where, like before, when I was before doing YouTube in Call of Duty, where I could just connect with my audience a lot better than just popping up in your face. Example. Hey guys, are you ready for this coffee? This coffee is just so awesome. Buy it right now. It's 40% off today. If you I my finger just flew off the screen at that point. I was like, get away from me. Dislike, report. I don't want, it's irrelevant because I don't want to look at it anymore. But if anything, I will be showing how to just install and to learn. If anything, I recommend if you want to learn just website development and you like chickens, Jonas is the one. Jonas from Udemy. I'll probably put them in the link below. Maybe not. Who knows? Perhaps. And then there's Code Steel. So Code Steel is very solid. So he teaches very well. And if you want to learn, I don't know, PHP, there's others, but that's a really old language. They use a lot of different codes, but it's basically how WordPress is being built. And then there's Bruno, who fits exactly the description that I am looking for. So I'm going to go to Bruno here. Good old Bruno. Here's Bruno. Bruno Simon. He's French. And this course, and by the way, I'm not getting affiliated with Bruno, so I'm not getting any kickbacks from this. If you want to, he deserves this recognition because he is charging $95 for lifetime access to getting this course. 45,000 students and reviews, by the way, reviews. Okay, this is already enrolled. Interesting. I thought he had more. I think I saw a different number, but okay. But this is basically my type of website. I love it. Let me put myself down over here. What am I doing there? It's getting in the way. Everything in this website speaks my language. I love this here. The thing that is the sticky, and then this is just static. And then again, here's the animations. This one's a little easier though, so I don't think it involves anything too difficult. This is relatively easy. You can just make them float. by transforming them and then adding some easy ease. And then we have these websites, and this is his website right here. He created a video game. And then there's this one where he created it's like a vineyard for this French town. I forgot which town it was, but he's basically making it so that people can interact where they can find wine near them. That was just amazing. So this is basically what I would be building for enterprise websites so that they can be more immersive, because everything now is moving closer to AI, 3D animation, but people are losing connection with their audience. And that's what I hate, is that there's no more connection. People see everything like if it's Tinder, and Tinder. It's the worst, one of the worst things next to, I forgot what it was. It left my mind. That's how irrelevant it was to me. But yeah, this is basically what I want to create, and I am creating already. So, and then here you just click on that, and you go into the animation, and then you can go to floor 1, 2, 3. You can go back to floor 1, 2, 3, and basically it's teaching you how to create all the physics. And these courses are long, by the way. They're pretty long, and I love it because I can immerse myself, take myself, and immerse myself, take it slowly, because in the end, it's not about getting it done. It's about knowing what you got done. That's totally different. You can memorize a formula, but then there are those who know what the formula does, like in math, because everybody took math to some extent, especially algebra. But yeah, these are the type of videos I will be posting here on more than likely only YouTube and Facebook, and I'll create different other different videos for Instagram because they require different videos, and TikTok as well. And if this was something that you want to learn, I will be putting out more videos. Let me say it again. I'll be putting out more videos about this, about my journey, what I'm learning, so you can immerse yourself, and you can do it as well, by the way. You are able to do just this because people saw me as someone who may be smart, but to be honest, um, it's not that I'm smart. It's just that I'm doing stuff. That's it. I'm doing what people don't want to do, and learning the high value skills people don't want to do because maybe they don't have time. They have family, they have bills, they have this, they have that. But you just have to go all in and focus with all your might. And in the end, it will pay off. I promise you that. So as long as you have breath in your lungs, you can do it yourself as well. Because now that I've learned this and learned Spline, this CRM over here, which is white labeled, Webflow, um, photography, videography, and all that stuff. I mean, you can do it. You can be a creator as well, and not just a filmer, right? But other than that, I will end the video now, and be sure to subscribe to my channel. It's probably going to be in the watermark over here on the side, or you can just click the button. I mean, don't be lazy. And see you on the next video. Peace and shalom to you and your family. Take care.